Today we gather here at Our Lady of the Annunciation Chapel on the University of Mary campus. Sister Hannah, her family, fellow sisters at Annunciation Monastery, her friends, her co-workers, the students. We come to support her as she stands before the Lord to pledge her commitment to be a disciple of Jesus. We are here to support her as she makes her final profession in the Benedictine order, as her sisters, whom have previously pledged their lives to the building up of the kingdom, surround her. Sister Hannah's journey began several years ago in Oaks. Her mother Sharon in the living room of her house in mild labor, I feeding her oldest son Dan some supper, all the while in the background is the hee-haw show on TV. Who would have thought, as we rushed to the hospital that evening, that this beautiful little girl would someday be religious in the Catholic community? But it is no accident that we are here today supporting Hannah. As a lot of you know, Hannah loves to bake. When we bake, we use multiple ingredients. We use oil, salt, sugar, flour, along with the mixing bowl in the oven. By themselves, these ingredients remain just that, the salt, the sugar, etc. Combine these ingredients and we have cookies and cakes and bread. Just as these ingredients are needed and have a part to play in the baking, so we have all had a part in Hannah's formation. What part did we have? Were we the flour, the basics of baking? Were we the basics of Hannah's formation? Those present early in her life. Flour is the basic ingredient that gives a baked good structure. Those present early in the life of Hannah, part of her basic structure, played a pivotal role in her formation. I know I can say for certain that Grandma Jean was many of the flowers in her life. Sometimes we add flour later on in the mixing if the dough does not look right. Were we the one later in life who aided her in her decisions? Were we part of the bowl? Were we part of the family that she was born into? The extended family that was such a part of her life, that extended family in Aberdeen, those Vinornies summer get-togethers, the bowl, the basin, the foundation of when Hannah put down her roots. Were we the oil, the lubricant that gives tenderness, moistness, smoothness? Perhaps we were the one who gave Hannah that tenderness, that love, when it was most needed. Were we the salt, the ingredient that draws out flavors in the baked goods? Were we the salt in Hannah's life, the one who shared in the development of the flavors of the personality that Hannah is today? Were we the salt known as her friends? Were we the salt known as the religious sisters here at Annunciation Monastery? Were we the salt in her life known as her teachers or directors? Were we the yeast, the ingredient that gives life to bread, makes it whole, causes it to rise or spring up? Just as Isaiah said in the reading today, that the Lord God will cause justice and praise to spring up before all nations. So there were many people in Hannah's life that aided her in rising up to the occasions in her life that were a challenge and later a blessing. We read in the Acts of the Apostles today of communal life. They, the followers of Jesus, devoted themselves to the teaching of the apostles and to the communal life. What is the communal life in baking? Where else but the oven? Where else do all the ingredients come together and with the help of each ingredient become a masterpiece? We are all responsible for Sister Hannah, and each other in becoming God's masterpieces. Who is the oven? Who is the device that takes those ingredients in common and molds them into a beautiful person? We have all played a part of how this person has turned out in life. But it is God who is the oven, the one who molds and shapes us. God shapes us. He shapes Sister Hannah as well. As a result of these ingredients, Sister Hannah, as well as we, are in the oven being baked by God, being prepared, shaped, and molded. We can be a part of that process by continuing to be a part of Sister Hannah's life, by adding our little ingredient to the mix to aid her in becoming the fullest individual she can become. We also need to do the same for each other. We can help each other by our prayers, console each other by our actions, help each other in discerning what God's will is in our lives. But most importantly, we can help each other, as well as Sister Hannah, by our love. God tells us in His Gospel of today that we read, in fact, the last 3 words in today's Gospel, love one another. Sister Hannah, what you are about to profess is a great, great witness to us. It is a great gift to the Church. You have been a member of the Annunciation Monastery community for some years, and now you will join the ranks of those whose footsteps form the path for you, and you, in turn, will form the path for those to follow you in the future. This is a joyous day, a solemn day, truly a day of the Lord. Let us all continue to support, to pray, and to love Sister Hannah in the days and the years to come, as she continues to discern what God's will is in her life. Let us not forget that we need to continue to be the oil, the flour, and the salt in Hannah's life, as well as in each other's.